A man was working late one night on his small business setup at home when he started to hear a faint but repetitive knocking sound. At first, he thought it was just the house settling or maybe something outside. But as the knocking persisted, he began tracing the sound and realized it was coming from a cabinet across the room. Curious and slightly uneasy, he pulled out his phone and began to record.
Yo, I've been like hearing fucking knocking sounds coming from this room. You hear that? Oh my god. What the fuck? Hello? Hello? Yo, what the fuck, bro? Hello? Hello? Bro, I'm fucking out of here, bro. Fuck this.
In the video, the cabinet door suddenly opens itself just a crack. He walks over cautiously, then opens the door fully, only to find it completely empty. There was no mechanism, no airflow, no trick, just an eerie silence as the camera catches him backing away. After the encounter, he decided to leave the workspace for the night. Though he tried to brush it off, he later admitted to friends that the moment felt unnatural, and he's been hesitant to work in that room after dark ever since. A man on TikTok had been relaxing at home when he heard strange sounds coming from upstairs. It wasn't the usual creaks or settling, it sounded like movement. Instead of brushing it off, he decided to film and share what was happening with his followers. Grabbing his phone, he headed to the top of the stairs and stood at the end of the hallway. Here is what he was able to capture.
Alright, tell me I'm a crack. Every time I turn off the light, there's like a shadow there. Watch. You see that? What the f? What the f? Tell me I'm not a crack, dude. Hell no. What the f? Dude, I'm out of here. Ma.
He pans the camera across the hall to show that no one is there, then focuses on one specific doorway. As he turns the light off, a shadowy figure appears in the frame, standing motionless. He flips the light back on, nothing. Off again, the shadow is back. He does this several times, each time getting more anxious as the figure disappears and reappears with the flick of the switch. Eventually, without saying a word, he turns the camera away and quickly leaves the house. After posting the clip, his followers were quick to flood the comments with theories, ranging from a trick of the light to something far more unsettling. The man later explained he had never experienced anything like that before, and still doesn't have an explanation. Since the video, he hasn't spent the night alone in that house and is thinking about moving out altogether if it ever happens again. Sherry and her co-worker were finishing up their shift at around 7:30 p.m., going through their usual end-of-day tasks at the crematorium where they both worked. It had always been a quiet place, professionally run, and nothing out of the ordinary had ever happened in all their years working there. The idea of anything paranormal seemed far-fetched until that night. While checking the security cameras, they noticed something strange on one of the monitors and decided to record it on a phone. The footage shows a body completely covered in a white blanket, resting on a stretcher in the prep room. Without warning, the covered body begins to shift ever so slightly, then more noticeably, as if something underneath was adjusting itself or trying to move. Neither Sherry nor her co-worker were anywhere near it at the time, and the room had been closed off. Both stood in stunned silence as they watched the movement happen in real time on the screen. The body was cremated the following day as scheduled, and no further strange activity has occurred at the facility since. Sherry later said they still don't have any answers, and they've chosen not to talk about it much around their co-workers. While it hasn't changed how they feel about the job, it's a moment they won't forget anytime soon. Dr. Kamal and a nurse were sharing a quick laugh during a short break, standing together in one of the quieter hallways of the hospital around midnight. Nothing had felt off up to that point. They were joking around as usual, and Kamal casually held his phone, already recording as part of a light-hearted prank he was planning on pulling. The moment was relaxed and normal, until it suddenly wasn't.
Es que te estoy enfocando a las boobies. Ah, no mames.
¿Qué?
Pasó algo.
¿Qué pasó? No mames.
A ver, ven. No mames, pasó algo, te lo juro que pasó algo, ¿eh?
Se mueve, ya se mueve.
Vete a la verga.
Yo no voy.
No mames.
While the camera rolls, a ghostly figure silently walks past an open doorway just a few feet behind them. It's brief, but the movement is clear. Both Kamal and the nurse stop mid-laugh, frozen. He immediately steps forward to check the hallway, confused and shaken, but finds no one there. Then, just before he turns back, a walking assistant that had been still in the hallway glides a few inches across the floor on its own, startling both of them again. The video left viewers stunned, and Kamal uploaded it mostly to get opinions on what they'd seen. As far as he knows, no one matching the figure's outline was anywhere in the building at the time. That part of the hospital had been empty. Since then, the two have continued working their shifts, but neither of them walks through that hallway without glancing over their shoulder anymore. Sabia has been included in one of the recent videos on my channel, and her story continues this time. In the last video, she had been experiencing all sorts of paranormal experiences in her own home, and this was because one had followed her when she visited an abandoned house with her now ex-boyfriend. She lived alone in this house and had no idea how to deal with the spirit, so had to knuckle down and deal with it. This video is a prime example of the sort of things that happen on a day-to-day basis for her. Take a look.
Dat licht knipperde weer aan en uit in de hal. Oh, in het nieuwe huis. Helemaal klaar mee. Oh. Oh. Ik durf echt niet. Donder op, ik ga er niet naartoe. Ik bel wel iemand.
Once again, the spirit performed its signature act of messing with the lights before expanding its powers to whole different levels. From a swinging light to a ghostly apparition. This was shocking, and I really do hope that Sabia becomes okay in the future. Make sure to wish your luck too in the comment section. The man behind the TikTok account 1916 Haunting was excitedly giving a tour of his family's new basement. It was still a work in progress, but he was clearly proud of how things were shaping up. The shelves were neatly stacked with glasses of beer, and boxes were arranged all around, showing signs of an ongoing project.
Go straight down into this, and then after a while, it sucks that out and pumps it out. And then here's a shower. This is actually what we're using. It looks super sketch, but it's actually really, really nice. Don't tell Emily, but there was a spider in it. It's actually really nice. This is what we use until we fix the upstairs shower. And then the very open bathroom with a random phone there. So if, I'm doing business, I can still do business. And then washer, dryer, this, and of course you got the bar. This is a work in progress thing. Hey, what the
Suddenly, he hears the unmistakable sound of footsteps running down the stairs behind him. He quickly spins around, but there's no one there. The noise stops just as abruptly as it started, leaving only silence in its place. After uploading the video, he mentioned that this was only the beginning, hinting that there might be more unexplained activity to come as the basement project continues. The story is far from over. A few days passed with no unusual activity, and things seemed calm. Then, late one evening, the door handle to the sitting room started rattling unexpectedly. Curious, the man grabbed his camera to capture what was happening. At first, nothing stirred, but suddenly, the rattling began again right in front of the lens. He quickly went around to the other side of the door and searched carefully, but found nothing. No one, no sign of how the handle was moving on its own. Still puzzled, he decided he was going to start filming at random intervals, sensing there might be more to uncover in the days ahead. To try and catch whatever was causing the strange noises, the man decided to do another basement tour, hoping it would trigger the ghost again. He set up his camera and walked slowly through the space, narrating as he went. The atmosphere was tense, every creak and shadow making him more alert. Suddenly, something caught his eye.
Alright, so pardon the mess, but this is what I was telling you about, man. So, you got the toilet, and just the complete open. I mean, like I said, ignore the mess. We haven't done laundry in a while, but yeah, it's a completely open bathroom just in the middle of the... It's always something. Every single day. You heard it too? Yeah? I don't know what to tell you, dude. It's getting worse.
In the clip, a faint, ghostly figure walks silently just above him. It then runs down the stairs at a tremendous speed, and right behind it, a cat, previously unseen, follows closely. The man's quiet breathing can be heard as he watches this happen in disbelief. After the footage, the man felt a mix of excitement and unease. He knows this is just the beginning and plans to keep investigating, documenting every step. Whether this is a harmless presence or something more, he's determined to find out. The basement still holds many secrets, and he's ready to face whatever comes next. You'll have to subscribe so you don't miss any potential future haunter features for this man. In the following video, a man was sitting in his room watching television when he got an unexplainable urge to take out his mobile phone and start recording. This urge came out of absolutely nowhere, and it was almost as if someone or something had told him to do it. But that thing was not in the room with him, so what could it have been? He recorded for a few moments with nothing at all happening, and he was debating ending it there and then, but suddenly, the fact he listened to the urge paid off with this.
This summer, between honor and dishonor, between family and enemies, between July and August, a line will be drawn and then colored in yellow. Run! Run! Jump! Jump! Run! Run! I know we've had a rough day, but sure we can put all that behind us. On July 27th, a secret will be revealed.
Look at that. You can see the 4 states that border Springfield. Wow. Nevada, Maine, and Kentucky. Oh, yeah.
An empire will rise. 2 buttons behind this desk. One will supply your town with power. The other releases the hounds.
Just look into your heart. You'll find the answer.
And the family will fall.
A paranormal surge happened within the room, and it must have been the ghost that unsettled the man and caused him to want to film. It did all sorts of unnerving things and was able to be caught in the act, which really makes me wonder why it did all of this knowing that a recording was underway. Whatever its true motives were, it was frightening, and I hope the man never suffers from anything of this sort again. Mason was home alone on a Tuesday night when he decided that it was time to go to sleep. Whenever his girlfriend wasn't home with him, he usually made the most of having the property all to himself, and this time binge-watched all of the Avengers movies for a second time, and it was around 1 o'clock in the morning when Endgame came to a close. Tired yet satisfied, Mason went to his bedroom and jumped straight into his bed. But this is when he heard some noises coming from the kitchen downstairs. Curious, he took his camera to go and see what on earth was going on, and you'd be surprised to see what was found.
Huh. I don't see nothing. What? No way. This is weird. What the is going on? What is that sound? What are you doing, kitty? It's closing back. My camera's going in and out of focus. What the? This is weird.
Strangely, the kitchen cabinets continued to open and close in a strange fashion, and it was almost as if a force was being applied onto it. However, we are able to see the majority of the interior and the entire exterior of this cabinet, with no sign of a visible force being applied to it. This meant that whatever caused this was invisible, and you guessed it, spirits can't be detected. Mason drew the same conclusion that I just did, and was under the full understanding that he was dealing with something from the non-physical realm. Choosing to face it with pride rather than run away like a coward, though, Mason went to investigate closer to where the ghost was performing its acts, and this happened.
It's like they're freaking walking around in my kitchen, whatever it is. Oh my god. What the Can you tell me who you are? Can you tell me why you're here? Wow. This is crazy. I don't even want to walk off there. I don't know about this. I don't know about this at all. Look, did y'all see that? What the f- What the fuck?
Another paranormal instance happened whilst Mason was checking, and it was so obvious that this poltergeist had the sole intent of frightening the poor man. I hope Mason is able to get rid of the ghost and live his life freely, and not in a constant panic, but I have no idea if this happened due to a lack of updates. When a spirit decides to haunt someone above the age of 18, we are far less inclined to feel terrible about it than when it happens to somebody who is a child. Children becoming victim to paranormal activity is something that no one can support because they are way too young to be exposed to things that can generate such fear and fright. In the clip that I am going to expose you to shortly, Jake was alone in the kitchen when suddenly he saw the tap start running by itself. He instinctively started filming the incident in case anything else happened, and this is what his camera was able to detect. Have a look.
What the? Oh my gosh. Oh gosh. Oh my god! Oh my god!
All over the kitchen, things started to happen, and this is what experts refer to as a paranormal surge. A paranormal surge is when more than 3 spiritual events occur within a 5-minute time frame, and it would likely be an understatement for what we have just seen. After this event, Jake sent the video to his friends, his parents, and posted it to his social media accounts, but the only people who actually took his word for it were some random ones through social media. Due to nobody else believing him, Jake was forced to suffer silently and tell everyone that it was a funny prank, so they didn't think he was weird. Considering he was only 13 years of age too, this becomes far worse knowledge to have. A father was gaming solo with his youngest child in the room. To set the scene, he was playing a story mode game that required intense amounts of concentration in order to be successful, whilst the daughter was playing with their dog. All of a sudden, the daughter started claiming that the freezer door was opening itself, but confused, her father refused to give this claim any attention. After the daughter continued to push the fact the freezer door was moving alone to him, though he decided that the least he could do was have a look, so he did, and this was what he found.
My ball.
He's not catching ball with you?
Yeah.
You need somebody to play ball?
Baba.
Just like his daughter was saying, the freezer door was genuinely opening and closing itself, which was ridiculously creepy. After witnessing this with his own eyes and remembering that the console had a 24/7 camera attached to it, he sent the footage to several ghost hunters, hoping that they would come and help for a small price. Unfortunately, they were unable to because, quote, the clip was too easy to fake. Ghost hunters like this need to be stopped, because who knows how much trouble these families could get into with the spirits still on their back, and I hope another hunter helps them soon. In the following video, Henry Alvarado was doing his usual daily routine, which involved recording a YouTube video for his channel. He aspired to become a big YouTuber one day, and this time was filming a tutorial on how to get rid of bacteria in a pan. At first, things were running seamlessly until he made a mistake and was forced to restart the entire video, which slightly annoyed him to say the last. At least it gave him a joke opportunity though. However, little did he know that his next take would be messed up too, but for a completely different reason.
The first thing I'm going to do to ensure the best quality hangover and to kill any nasty little bugs that are in the wine. Well, you can all stop asking me to upload a video now. What was it? What was this? Airlock. Hang on. You're on a tripod, so. Where was this? Airlock. What was it? This one. Is that it? Do something else now, will ya?
Out of seemingly nowhere, an item launched itself at the head of Henri, and this was deeply disturbing to witness. Usually spirits enter places with the sole intention of scaring their victims, but this one went the extra mile and physically attacked them. Fortunately, the item was nothing too harmful, or else Henri could have been seriously injured by such an event. So he was an extremely fortunate man. He is in the process of contacting a priest about the incident to hopefully get some free assistance moving forwards. On May the 9th of 2025, a co-worker of a user named Lucrine sent them a clip from the security cameras and gave permission for them to post it online. In the clip, we are exposed to a dark and eerie setting that looks desolate of human life. The focus, however, is surprisingly the gate at the back, which had been stiff for years. Every day, the staff there struggled to open the gate, and it was one of the most annoying parts of the facility. But in this video, whatever moved, it made it look quite simple. Take a look. It is clear that nothing or no one interacted with the gate to make this happen, but one aspect that I would like to zoom in on is the cat. Moments before the gate actually moved, the cat went closer to it, almost as if it had seen somebody there. We all know that these creatures are known for their potential to see spirits, so perhaps this is why it started to analyze the gates before it happened, which acts as some potential evidence that this was in fact a ghost. In order to gain even more evidence, just to be sure, the co-worker decided to analyze every single camera in the building to check that nothing had entered or left. As expected, nothing did, meaning that whatever caused this was an external factor. With all of this evidence combined, I am more than certain this was a spirit. In today's video on Haunter, we have already seen literal children come victim to a ghost. But what if I told you that this next clip also showcased this? This time the child was extremely young and in toddler territory, making it ever more upsetting too. The mother had to do the laundry, so decided to leave her daughter in the play yard whilst she did it. She expected nothing bad to happen because there were no physical hazards inside of the room, at least she thought. For 2 minutes, absolutely nothing happened in the absence of the mother, but it did not take long for whatever was in there with the daughter to pounce. Not only did some form of entity start playing with her daughter, but it also showed itself to her. She started blowing kisses in the direction of where the bottle launched from, and when her mother asked what she had seen, 4 words came out. "I saw fun man." This freaked her out to the extreme, and she went as far as calling a drawing therapist to come and see visually what the girl had seen. The art came out like a clown, which made things even worse for the mother. However, people didn't believe her, so she needed to gather proof. For around a day, she thought of ideas that could potentially lead to a video that could convert non-believers into believers, and eventually, one came into her mind. What if she showcased where all of the events happened in order to prove that there was no natural way in which it could happen? Here is her recording.
Okay, so this is my daughter's playpen that she was in when the bottle thing happened. So she was standing right here. The stem would have fallen about here. And as you can see, like directly in front of that on the other side is the toy bin where the bottle had landed. It landed about here. There's nothing around that the bottles could have come from, especially because like they landed straight down. So there's a little dresser, and then over there, and there is where the dressing room is, which is where the bottles were, where I put everything before I went downstairs to take everything out. So really no explanation. There's the monitor that caught it.
This made it pretty clear that a ghost had caused this event, and a ghost hunter is currently arranging days with the mother. Chris was spending a quiet evening at home when something immediately threw the vibe off. He was upstairs, just relaxing like normal, when he heard this sudden bang from downstairs, loud enough to jolt him out of his seat. Now, Chris isn't the type to jump to conclusions, but this sound wasn't like anything falling or shifting. It had weight behind it. Curiosity got the best of him, so he decided to grab his phone and check it out. As he headed down the stairs, he kept recording, just in case. That's when things took a very weird turn. On the wall in the hallway was this decorative Santa face, the kind you see hanging during the holidays. As Chris panned the camera, the Santa moved, not once but twice. It wasn't just swinging from a breeze or sliding down a nail. It tilted, paused, and shifted again. You can clearly see there's no one near it, and no windows are open. Chris was understandably shaken, and that Santa didn't stick around much longer. The day after, he burned it in the fireplace. I can't say I blame him, festive or not, that thing had to go. Leandro had known for weeks that something in his house wasn't right, but he kept it to himself, because every time he even hinted at it, people looked at him like he was insane. He wasn't about to be labeled the psycho friend, so he stayed quiet, but the longer he waited, the worse it got, and eventually, he decided enough was enough. He pulled out his phone and started recording, hoping to finally catch something on camera that could prove he wasn't just losing it.
Mais dia normal. Tem espírito preso na casa. Será que está tentando me dizer algo?
Tô ouvindo barulho aqui agora. De novo, gente, já tô cansado disso já.
Acredite se quiser.
Olha isso. Olha aqui. Olha isso, gente. Olha aqui na cozinha. Meu Deus do céu, o que é isso, velho? Olha isso. Que isso, cara? Olha isso aqui. O ventilador ligou sozinho. Olha isso. Ai, que isso? Estou com medo. O ventilador ligou, desligou. Olha isso.
In the footage, it all happens at once. His kitchen appliances started dropping all over the place. Then his standing fan moved on its own accord. And finally, a folded cloth on the counter just dropped without being touched. The room feels like it's under siege, and Leandro barely manages to hold the camera steady through it all. There's no one else there, no wires or strings, and no explanation that makes any sort of sense. It's the kind of clip you have to watch twice just to believe, and this was only the beginning, because a few days later, even more evidence was discovered. A few days after the chaos in the kitchen, Leandro decided to finally reach out to a ghost hunter. The issue was, the investigator wouldn't commit to a visit unless there was more footage to go on. So Leandro and his wife came up with a plan. They had both noticed something off about this old porcelain doll they kept in the living room. Every time they left it facing forward, it somehow ended up facing the wall. They decided to test it properly. With the camera rolling, Leandro's wife carefully turned the doll toward the lens, making sure it was clearly visible and properly positioned.
Eu comprei uma boneca de guardar sacola, mas ela não gosta que ninguém olhe para ela.
Mãe. Não vou ficar aqui sozinho, não. Caralho, tá caindo tudo aqui.
Minha mãe foi pegar uma vassoura, dois corajosos.
Do nada aqui, sozinho em casa. E eu levei um susto, achei que eu que tava vendo coisa. A mãe foi lá pegar a vassoura pra mexer nele. Vira ela pra frente. Eu vou jogar esse troço fora, eu vou queimar. Cuidado, vira ela pra frente. Ui.
Tá na bichinha.
Ela vira de costas
Eu não vou
toda
dormir
vez que
daqui em
arrumava
casa,
ela pra
não.
frente.
Não, vira ela pra frente. Aí. Aí.
O que você põe nela?
Como assim?
Eu tô voando.
Sei lá. O trem começou a se mexer do nada. Olha lá.
Eu tô voando aqui.
Olha lá a mão dela. Ui.
Você
Joga
fez?
fora.
Para, amiga, pelo amor de Deus.
Oi. Eita, pega.
As the seconds ticked by, it slowly but clearly shifted back around to face the wall again. No human interference, no obvious triggers, just a slow and chilling movement that looked almost deliberate. This was enough to get the ghost hunter's attention. He showed up that same weekend and spent hours combing through the house. According to him, there was definitely a presence in the home, something that had become attached to a particular object, likely the doll. After a short ritual and a cleansing, the disturbances began to fade, and for now, the house has gone quiet. Victor and his friend were spending the evening at Victor's place when something strange caught their attention. They were just hanging out in the living room, not really expecting anything out of the ordinary, when Victor noticed something odd. His rug kept ending up in a slightly different position every time he looked at it. It wasn't drastic, just enough to be unsettling. After a while, curiosity got the better of him and he decided to start recording, hoping he might catch whatever was going on in action.
Мне добавился вопрос, нет еще. Она такая красивая, да?
Я вспомнил просто, что нашла лаву.
Ну, она такая красивая, в жизни такая толстая. Ну вот, в принципе, толстая.
Жесть.
Снял? Да. Охуенно. Вообще цех большой пиздец. Прям чувствую, сука, хочется. Бывает такое.
Sure enough, as the camera rolls, the rug slowly drags itself a few inches across the floor without a single foot touching it. There's no breeze, no pets, and no strings. It just moves. The room is silent, but the tension in the clip is heavy. After this, Victor's friend refused to sleep on the same floor and insisted on staying upstairs for the rest of the visit. Victor ends up contacting a local medium who believes the house has residual energy attached to something beneath the floorboards. Whether they dig it up or not, we'll have to wait and see. Lorita, a mother of 3, was home with her children when she suddenly noticed signs that someone had broken into the house. Panicked, she grabbed 2 of her kids and ran outside, only to realize moments later that their youngest was still inside. Without hesitation, Lorita rushed back in, but as she tried to find her 3rd child, things took a terrifying turn. It wasn't a man in the house after all, but something else.
Come over here. Shit. Oh, what happened?
Dude, run. There's a guy inside.
Okay. Run.
Hey, where's your sister?
She's in her room sleeping.
She's inside?
Yeah.
Dude, look. There's a shadow right there.
What the heck?
Told you there's somebody in here. Amber, baby, come here. Amber. Dude.
No.
What was that?
The door just closed over there.
Amber. Baby, come here. Are you in here? Dude. I pulled the door back.
Oh my god.
What is that?
Someone's
at the front door. What do?
Go to the front door, Alice.
Dude, no No one's at the front door.
Who rang the doorbell then?
It's knocking, but there's nobody there. Dude.
There's no one there.
Should I open it?
No.
The noise is coming back. It's getting louder and louder.
Oh my. Now it's the doorbell again?
What is going on here?
The front door kept ringing as if someone was aggressively spamming the doorbell, and no matter how hard Loretta tried, the door to her youngest child's room wouldn't open. It felt like an invisible force was blocking their way, keeping them trapped from reaching the child. The fear was overwhelming. Since that night, Loretta and her family have been desperately trying to find a new place to live, hoping to escape whatever spirit has made their home its own. They're planning to move as soon as they can, because no one should have to live with something so relentless and frightening inside their own walls. A ghost hunter was offered $500 to investigate a house suspected of being haunted, and he decided to take the job. For a long time, nothing unusual happened, and he started to question whether the whole thing was just a waste of time. He debated leaving more than once, but chose to stay and keep looking for answers. Suddenly, the door in one of the rooms began rattling violently, as if something was trying to get out or in. The hunter carefully searched behind the door, but found nothing at all. No hidden compartments, no tricks, just empty space. Despite the lack of physical evidence, the eerie rattling convinced him that there was definitely some kind of presence in the house. After spending a few more hours investigating and sensing the energy shift, he concluded that the place was haunted and recommended the owners consider a spiritual cleansing. They agreed and planned to bring in specialists to help rid the house of the restless spirit. Ian, a well-known ghost hunter who has appeared on this channel before, was exploring a notoriously haunted asylum all by himself. As he moved through the dim hallways, he suddenly noticed a broom leaning against the wall start to move on its own. Instinctively, he turned the camera to capture the strange activity.
Is there someone up here? Making noises? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm starting to think it could be a false alarm. Maybe not. That definitely sounded like it was in here. In here. And you know what? If you look out there. The wind has stopped. So that totally rules that out. Which is scary because those sounds were so loud. I nearly pissed myself. Luckily I wasn't recording. That would have been embarrassing. Who's down there? You know, I can't help but think about that spirit box session that was on this floor. That right there, or not that one, right there, that's John Oliver's room. I'm just thinking about what he said, because I have a bad feeling right now. Whoever's down there, come on out. Holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. Dude, something just ran across that hall. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh, come on, you just calm down. Oh, Jesus. I'm whimpering and screaming like a little freaking baby.
The broom slowly slides across the floor, and shortly after, a chilling voice clearly warns him to get out now. The atmosphere instantly thickens with tension, but despite the warning, Ian decides to stay a little longer, determined to uncover more evidence. What happens next is even more intense, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next video where this story continues. The YouTube channel Mr. Snowman has just 22 subscribers, but it also has one special video that is very good for this channel. It took place in the channel owner's gaming room, and he was playing some form of fighting game. It was after a long day of working, and he enjoyed the time that he finally had to kick back and have some fun. But little did he know that a certain spirit had some other ideas of fun in mind.
Okay, I was sitting here playing New Vegas because Noah and his dad went out to clean their clothes, and I don't like clothes. And I was sitting here, and I started hearing all these noises. I think there's a fucking ghost in here. I'm not shitting you. It's scaring the hell out of me. So I'm gonna ask it some questions to see if it's here anywhere. Okay, here we go. Is there anyone here? Why are you here? Do you want to hurt me? Fuck. Shit. Okay, yeah, there's definitely something. That came from Noah's room. What the? Shit. You see that? What the? Hey, why are you moving that paper? Why are you moving the newspaper? What the? Shit! Fuck. God damn it. Why are you in Noah's room? What's so special about in here? Fuck, I think it's in his room. What the fuck? Shit! What the shit! God damn it!
All sorts of things happened within the house, and Mr. Snowman was actually quite lucky to have caught it all on video. He uploaded the content to his YouTube channel in search of advice regarding the situation, and many people believe that the spirit was negative based on what it was doing. Mr. Snowman is currently in the process of banishing the poltergeist from his household, and is in contact with several ghost hunters over the matter. However, this is a rather long process, and never happens instantly. Throughout this process, Mr. Snowman has encountered several more paranormal events confirming to him that the situation needed to be tended to, and he managed to get one of these extra events on camera. It was just as spooky as the last.
Okay, I'm back here at Noah's, where that demon thing was, and the first time I wasn't prepared. So this time I will be prepared, so I won't freak out or cuss as much. So, okay, yeah, it's still here. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Okay, maybe we'll be over there again. What are you? Do you want to hurt me? What do you want to do to me? Oh, shit. Okay. Shit. Okay. Probably. Oh, shit. Okay. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
This time around, the paranormal surge followed a similar order of events, with Mr. Snowman actually asking for the ghost to show itself. It somehow listened and caused all sorts of chaos on camera, similar to the last clip. He used the footage to send to the ghost hunter as further evidence, which incentivized him to make his way to the house sooner. We can only hope that the ghost hunt is a success and that these horrible hauntings do not continue in Mr. Snowman's house again. The following sequence of events came from a TikTok user by the name of Kyle Anthony, and over a prolonged period of time, he started to realize that some peculiar things were happening around him. It got to a point where he felt that he needed to take action and ended up filming on several occasions in hopes that he would capture some incidents on camera. The main incidents were sounds coming from the attic above him, which made him believe that someone or something was taking the place up as its habitat, but he was not sure enough to contact some sort of animal control unit. This is one of the first videos that he was able to obtain.
Okay, I just heard a loud ass banging in the garage while I was pouring my coffee. What the fuck? Please do not be something weird. I cannot take this shit anymore.
First of all, Kyle heard a noise from the attic, as per usual, but unlike the other times he heard the noise, he also saw physical movement. The rope that you tugged to enter the attic was swinging around in a way that a force would have to be applied to it to happen, but it was clear that nothing visible was acting upon it. This is the moment that Kyle overcame his fear of the attic and decided to enter it.
Alrighty, well, I thought I had the bright idea to shine a flashlight up in there since my phone light wouldn't reach very far, but I got up in there and realized there is a light bulb, so I'm gonna show you what I found if I can make it up here. These are some rickety freaking steps. That is some kind of a box. And I'm too scared to go get it. Maybe after one more beer.
Deep inside the attic, Kyle saw a lone black box, and he was too frightened to go and retrieve it, because he had no idea where it had come from. However, after letting the thought linger over his head for quite some time, he eventually buckled up the courage to go and retrieve it. Little did he know that this seemingly normal object was far more unique and shocking than he could have ever expected, though. Before I show you the clip of his retrieval, though, did you know that you can submit your paranormal videos to be covered on my channel? All you have to do is email the clips as well as the backstory behind them to hauntedofficial@gmail.com, and if they are good enough to be covered, then I will do it. Anyway, back to the clips. Have a watch.
Alright, I'm up here, and light bulb blue. So that's great. Now let's go get the box. Oh, goodness. What do we got going on here? This is sturdy. Alright. Okay, it's a Christmas box. Oh, there's a handle. Is there another one? Yeah, there we go. Alright, let's see. Alright, let's see what's in there. Oh, is that a fucking... There's some shit in there. Okay, dust here. Okay, there had to be a freaking doll in here. Oh.
Retrieving this box could not have gone any worse for Kule, because there just had to be a dusty old doll inside of it, with empty space as eyes. There couldn't have been anything more spooky inside of the box, as dolls are the most prominent items to being haunted, and Kyle was completely aware of this frightening statistic. Furthermore, something very strange happened once he flipped the doll around. Somehow, a giggle echoed around the attic simultaneously with the flipping of the doll, and this creeped the man out for very obvious reasons, hence why he immediately placed the doll back into the box and left the attic. For the following few days, the rate of paranormal activity inside of his house only seemed to worsen, and it made it out as if the discovery of the doll was the reason behind it intensifying. Kyle was certain that this creepy item was behind everything, but he could not get any undeniable proof of it. The paranormal events kept coming though.
Alright, for any of y'all who don't believe that this is real, then I'm just making it up. I'm about to prove it to you. Nothing up here. There's nothing up here. Told you.
Strangely, the attic door was slamming aggressively, and this made no sense, as he had removed the doll from the attic just a day prior to this incident. It is important to note that there was not a singular other person living in the house with Kyle, and the attic had no windows or form of powerful ventilation that would be able to make something of this sort happen. Considering the story so far, it was pretty obvious that this was a spirit, but Kyle wanted to be sure regardless and went up to investigate. He spun the camera all around the attic several times, and even put flash mode on just to prove that nothing was there, and a spirit was in fact the cause of this, and it was no surprise that nothing else was up there. Now we have seen a ton of evidence pointing towards one clear solution for all of this. There was some sort of demon living inside of Kyle's attic, and he needed a professional to come and banish it in an appropriate manner. However, Kyle wanted to be safe rather than sorry, and wanted one more piece of evidence before taking any action. He was walking past his garage when the rope that opened the attic started to sway again, but this time, the follow-up to the situation differed a lot.
I think I heard it again. I think I just heard it. I think I heard it. I just got off my freaking live like 20 minutes ago. I think I might have heard it, y'all. Hang on. I don't know. Is that freaking string moving? I don't hear it, damn. I don't hear it. It's moving. Shit. That fucking string is moving. I swear to God, I heard it. Alright. Oh, okay. Alrighty. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Let's just go like that. Okay. If you weren't on my live the other night, I think I did that. I think I caused the the light bulb situation. I think I caused like an electrical issue because I backed into the light bulb 2 freaking times and broke the light bulb, and I had to replace it. It happened twice, and I might have like knocked a wire loose, and that's probably why the light is blinking. That's got to be why. But I just fucking heard it.
The lights began to flicker aggressively, and Kyle came up with all sorts of reasons why this was not the spirit. He threw the doll into the trash and immediately paid extra for his trash cans to be collected by the garbage men within the next few hours. We can only pray that this got rid of the demons. A single mother was looking after her only child, and the backstory behind why she was single is actually quite sad. 8 months before the video that I am about to show you, the man of the house had passed away in a fatal car accident, and the thing was that it was not his fault. He was perfectly innocent, and nobody could name a soul that disliked him, so his death really was a dent in the community. Little did any of them know, though, that he would make an appearance shortly down the line, and his child would be the only one to notice it.
You ready to go, Grandma's? Come on. Let's go.
I want you. Dada! Upstairs, hurry me. Daddy hugging me.
Oh, wait.
What?
No, okay. Ooh, come on, Clarence. Okay.
What, Daddy?
That's what I was just about to ask. What'd you say, bud? Can you say bye to you?
Bye. I said bye, Daddy.
Oh, okay.
As his son walked out of the house with his mother, a supposed apparition was seen by the kid, and there was no reason why he would have faked it. The only evidence we have pointing towards this being real are the phrases "honey" and "I am" being heard besides the camera, and nobody on site said it, indicating that this was the father speaking to his family. I will defend this phenomenon as being a paranormal incident involving the kid's father, but if you beg to differ, then feel free to comment, and I will read them. Another thing you should feel free to do is email your haunted clips to the email on screen with a description of what happened to be included in future Haunter videos. Thank you. In the following video, a young teenager by the name of Miguel was staying at his auntie's house with his parents and cousin due to her passing away recently. They were sent to help empty and clear the house, which was a controversial decision in itself because they were very close with her. As a reward for coming down to help out, Miguel's cousin had been given a brand new cell phone that had been passed down from his auntie. Him and Miguel decided to test out the camera quality on this device by walking around, and it was here that they came across something terrifying.
Ooh.
A ver, yo creo que acá uno pone muchas cosas cuando compite, pero algo que uno nunca puede poner en la palestra a la hora de competir es la salud de uno, que a la larga en un futuro jugarse la vida. Yo creo que hay que saber cuándo parar. Y la verdad, doy gracias a Juanito.
¡Chucha!
Out of seemingly nowhere, the cupboard door flew open, and it had a lot of significance to their auntie. It was her most used cupboard, and she stored things such as her slippers, toiletries, and more importantly, her memory box inside of it. With this information in hand, experts have deciphered that this spirit was the spirit of their auntie, reminding them that she was still present, despite that presence being spiritual. I doubt the house will sell for much with this information though, which is unfortunate. Hassan was in his bathroom doing a task as simple as brushing his teeth when he noticed that something was off about the place. He explained that a cold and disturbing feeling surrounded the air out of nowhere, and that it was almost as if something else had entered the bathroom with him. This triggered Hassan's natural instincts, and he knew that something was going to happen, so dropped his toothbrush and pulled out his phone, opening the camera app. Did anything actually happen? Well, you'll have to take a look and see.
Se escuchó un ruido aquí en esta parte de la cocina, pero... ¡Ah, caray! ¿Qué fue eso? No manches. ¿Se movió el vaso? ¿O es mi imaginación? Ay, pensé que era mi imaginación. Ah, caray, caray. Qué raro. Yo creo que mejor me voy. Lentes. ¿Qué es eso?
Strangely, the item below the sink started moving without any human interaction, and furthermore, it was beyond evident that there were no strings or anything of that sort attached. After the incident, Hassan stopped the recording and wondered what he should actually do about it. He came to the conclusion that putting the item in the trash would be the best way forward, and so he did it, never seeing the item again. And fortunately, his wishes followed. From this point forwards, Hassan's life was spirit-free. Paranormal activity becomes ever more upsetting when you realize that the majority of the time, the victims are completely and utterly undeserving of the torment. What makes it even worse is when the innocent victim is a child, because they are way too young to be exposed and frightened to such an extent. The following video was filmed by an 11-year-old girl who noticed things moving downstairs. She decided to use her new phone to record what was happening and was frighteningly shouting at her mother to come and aid her due to being overwhelmed with fear. Clearly, the camera aggravated the spirit more though, because this happened.
Mamá, venga, se está moviendo la silla. Mamá. Mamá, venga. Mamá. Mamá. Mamá.
First of all, the chair started rocking, but that was happening beforehand, meaning that it didn't have any correlation to the fact the girl was recording the incident. After recording though, the little car moved on its own accord, followed by a few other things which would have terrified me, let alone a child of such a young age. The video that I am about to expose you to is one of, if not the most mysterious clips on my entire channel. This is because no matter how deep I have attempted to dig, I have found absolutely no background information on it. All we know is that it was presumably captured by a YouTuber called Anonymous Serial because they uploaded it, and that it was posted on August the 19th of 2012. The description also reads, "This video was recorded from an Android phone, making it ever more vague and spooky." Have a look. After analyzing this video, seeking more details, it becomes evident that it was captured within a home, and the person filming is quite young as far as I can tell. Furthermore, the ghost was rather relaxed compared to other ones that we have seen, because all it was doing was opening and closing the fridge, which is nothing too severe whatsoever. I do still hope that whoever recorded this video, from wherever place is okay though, and that they approached this situation and handled it in the correct manner. Luis was not the type to go around exploring haunted facilities for fun, but roughly 1 month after his mother passed away, he decided that he was going to give it a shot. She was buried inside of an old graveyard that was said to be riddled with paranormal activity, and she decided that she wanted her deathbed to be there. This is because she used the logic that if it was a really paranormal place, then the chances were she would become a ghost too, and her family supported her decision despite not being in complete agreement. Anyway, fast forward back to Luis. He came to the decision that he was going to visit the graveyard and see if anything mother-related happened. He went in blind with equipment, and this is what happened.
Mande dijo. Dijo mande. Dijo mande. ¿Hombre o mujer? O se escuchó un hombre. Pero también se escuchó una mujer. Soy Ruth, dijo. Dijo así, no soy Ruth. Oye, Ruth otra vez. Sí, a Ruth dijo. No mames, vete a la... Dijo mi nombre. Luis dijo. Para los que no saben, yo me llamo Luis. A la madre. Dijo mi nombre, plebes. Y no se lo pregunté. No mames. No. ¿Te llamas?
The spirit that was haunting him shortly before this particular clip somehow identified his name, and this led him to believe that it was the ghost of his mother. Furthermore, there was no cold energy around him, which was usually not the case when a poltergeist is present, meaning it must have been a friendly one at the bare minimum. Luis was scared of this presence, but knowing it may have been his mother, persisted through it, and was able to get us another piece of footage to watch.
Sí. ¿Quieres ayuda? Ruth. Sí. ¿Dónde estás? Dime dónde estás exactamente. ¿Dónde estás? ¿Dónde estás? Esperen, se me está cayendo esta cosa que tengo. No sé cómo agarrar todo. Perdón, amigos, me está temblando mucho la mano. La busco entre tumbas. Ahí no quiero grabar esta tumba. ¿Dónde estás? Vete a la bestia. ¿Qué fue eso? ¿Hola?
¿Dónde estás?
This time he heard a sound from across the graveyard, and from the sounds of it, it very obviously was not a naturally occurring noise. It was as if something had fallen over. And listen up, because this is where things get interesting. The sound came from nearby to Louis' mother's grave, meaning that it may have been her causing this. He believes that to this day. The time was just 14 past midnight, and Antonio was home alone. His children were staying over at their grandmother's because the house was being renovated, and these renovations were happening above their bedroom, which would have made it impossible for them to sleep. Antonio and his wife were having a long, restless night, so at around 11:45, they decided to give up on sleeping and got back out of bed. It was on his way to the sitting room that Antonio came across something very peculiar, though. Have a watch.
Claudia,
The item moved on its own accord, and it was beyond obvious that there was nothing that could have been interacting with it. Upon several zoom-ins, I was unable to expose any invisible wire or any kind of force acting on the item. After the incident, Antonio took the item out to the trash and told his children that it had broken, promising to purchase them a new one the next time that he got paid. This turned out to be the correct move, because him and his family never noticed anything of the sort again. On December the 5th of 2024, Max and his wife heard some peculiar sounds coming from the guest bedroom. An important note to make before I proceed is that the couple had not had a child together, and they were the only two people living inside of the house, making it impossible for this to have been natural. The time was 11:45, and they had both been watching television in the sitting room when this happened.
Hey. Yeah. Did you hear baby crying? Yeah, I opened the door. Oh, I thought that's why you opened the door. I heard it crying a long time in here.
Out of nowhere, the sound of a baby crying echoed around the entire house, and as I previously mentioned, they did not have any children living inside of the household. Max went inside of the room to investigate the scene, and the camera picked up something shocking following behind, a ghostly orb. This confirmed that the crying had been caused by some sort of spirit, and the family are currently in the process of eradicating it before it becomes too powerful, and it comes to the point where they take action too late. We wish them luck in this, and a priest would likely be the most cost-efficient approach. If you have ever watched a video from this channel before, then there is a 99.9% chance that you have heard of Ian, also known as the Midwest Ghost Hunter. He goes on all sorts of haunting adventures and posts really long videos stacked with clips to his YouTube channel, making it the perfect breeding ground for clips for this channel. The upcoming piece of footage came from a video where he visited a haunted asylum for a ghost hunt, and it definitely lived up to its name. Here is a clip from the video.
Whoa.
There's something in that photo. It looks like a figure peeking out of that room. Hello? Is there someone in there? I wonder if this is Lulu's room. I guess there's only one way to find out. Yep, there it is. Lulu, I think I just seen you peering out from your room. Were you watching me? Whoa! Whoa! She just started by! Oh my god! I literally just seen her bolt in here. She just went from right to left. And she ran over somewhere this way. Lulu, I know you're in here. Are you running around your room? Ooh. Whoa. Sorry. You just spooked me a little bit there. Are you making noise over here? Could you make another noise? Whoa. I'll try to take a whole bunch of photos. I'm getting orbs. She is definitely in here. You have a very beautiful room, Lulu. Is that one of the cribs? The old cribs that you used when you were a mother? I'm very sorry about the horrible things that happened to you.
It was very obvious that someone or something was inside of the room with him, but whether or not it was who he referred to as Lulu or not is unknown information. What we do know is that despite seeing a figure peeking around the entrance, an orb flying across the room, and an unexplained noise, Ian pushed on through, showing just how brave he really is. Remember to subscribe for more haunting videos, especially considering Ian will be in a lot of them. On a night of which Sophie was already going through something severe, a ghost decided to enhance it, and when you know the backstory, this is quite sad. Roughly 1 week prior to this incident, the grandmother of Sophie, Sylvia, passed away in a tragic car accident that ended the lives of 2 people. Sophie was extremely close to her grandmother, and she was way too healthy and careful to have passed away at such a young age. Regardless, it happened though, and people just had to deal with it. Little did any of them know that she would come and pay her granddaughter a visit though.
I keep closing this drawer and it keeps opening by itself. Did you just see that? There we go. There was an orb and now there's this. Look. Look. Me. I'm gonna try it again.
This was suspected to be an incident caused by her grandmother, and it would make a lot of sense if this was the case. Once Sophie realized that this was likely the case, she broke down into tears and lay on her bed for hours thinking about her. I think it is safe to say that more harm than good was caused from this visit. Toby went to sleep early one night and he paid the consequences because sleeping early usually results in waking up early. At 1 o'clock in the morning this happened, and he rolled out of bed wondering what time it was. When he realized, he knew he needed to get back into bed. However, despite being aware that he needed more rest, he was not tired and rather fancied something to eat, so went downstairs to start cooking. Little did he know that something abnormal would happen. Strangely, the lid for the pan started sliding across the tabletop on its own accord, and it was obvious that no visible force was acting upon it. Even in the case of an invisible string, it would not be possible because Toby was on the camera, and it was evident that he was not tugging anything. This was a very creepy evening for Toby, and one of which I severely doubt he will forget. The following video was captured by Dylan, and it was filmed during a job that he was not fond of in the slightest. His role was to clean his local restaurant, and he had 3 routine checkups. In the morning, he had to clean it. Throughout the day, he needed to maintain it, and in the evening, he had to clean it. Very demanding with very little pay. The video of which I am about to expose you to took place at 9 p.m. on an evening shift, and Dylan had been working for 2 hours to clean the place. There had been a children's birthday party, hence the balloons, and we all know the severity of mess that these parties can generate. This was the least of Dylan's concerns, though. Have a watch.
Creo que mucho el huevo. 3:20 de la mañana. Bien, y siento como que están moviendo las weas, como que las corren. Corrieron los pocillos de la sopa. Acá atrás se escucha como que le pegaran a weas, como que las movieran. Como que las movieran. Weón, está entero rígido acá. Ayer había grabado lo mismo, pero hoy día es como que... Weón.
Everything that you could have possibly thought of when you hear the word paranormal happened, and this was an extremely severe paranormal surge. For Dylan in specific, this was highly overwhelming, as he had never been face to face with something of this sort before, and it stayed with him for the rest of his life, with even the most subtle of mysterious incidents causing flashbacks. James lived by himself, and it is safe to say that there are many pros as well as many cons to this lifestyle. The pros include things such as peace, freedom, and the power to actually do what you want with the house. But in my personal opinion, the cons far outweigh them. From having to maintain the place on your own to being lonely at times when you need somebody with you, it mustn't be nice whatsoever. But none of these cons were the crucial ones to James. A paranormal entity was. The clip that I am about to expose you to shortly was taken because the tap started to turn itself on and off, and James wanted to document the phenomenon. Little did he know he was about to film something far more bizarre.
What the fuck?
Whilst the actual clip played, I severely doubt you actually realized what had happened, but fortunately, James included it again at the end. some sort of shadow figure peeked around the doorframe, and you'd be crazy to not be filled with fright after coming face to face with such a sight. A few commenters claimed that if you mess with the settings on the image to such as saturation, an eye and a nose appear, but I will let you guys test that for yourselves before coming back. After the incident, James came to the conclusion that the only thing he would do was upload it to social media, because he didn't want to anger the spirit by inviting a ghost hunter or a priest around to investigate. However, he was left questioning his decision the next night because the ghost did not seem to be the happiest of beings nonetheless. This time, instead of making the tap turn itself on and then off, the spirit decided it was going to have fun with the cabinet and continuously swung it open and closed. Just like last time, James took out his camera and started documenting the incident in hopes that the poltergeist would not stop its act, and he was lucky that it didn't. He was now presented with a few choices. James had enough evidence to do something about the spirit, but there was the possibility that the person he hired to banish it failed, and he was left with an even more annoyed ghost. Reluctantly, the conclusion was that he should wait for one more thing to happen, and once it did, he would contact a ghost hunter who drove a decent bargain, provide 3 pieces of evidence, and get 50% off. After a few days, the 3rd piece of evidence arrived.
Yo, what up? Ghost Golden Guns over here, and I'm going live right now because that's why. Hello? Hello? Is anyone there? What the fuck? What the fuck? Who is out? Oh my god. Oh my goodness, what the fuck? Hello, who is there? Oh my goodness, please stop. What the fuck? Please stop. Please stop. This is my house. Leave. Leave. This is my house. You're not allowed here. Leave. Oh my goodness. Hello. Oh my goodness.
Once again, everything the spirit did was inside of the kitchen, and it was starting to become increasingly obvious that this was the only place that the poltergeist could truly haunt. One interesting thing to pick up on, though, is the fact that this time around, it only caused mayhem when it was spoken to, rather than being unhinged. Perhaps this was some progress. The ghost was banished 1 week later, though, nonetheless, and James has not experienced anything similar to the sort since. Ghost hunting can be one of 2 things, a professional and paid job or a hobby. I can sort of understand those who do the task professionally, because it is a very high-paying role for what it is, and the sheer amount of money is probably worth a small fright. However, I cannot bring myself to get behind those who do this simply for fun, because why would you put yourself in paranormal situations for the sole reason of entertainment? It just doesn't sit right with me. The duo in the video that we are about to watch next were visiting a haunted woodland for leisure, and what they found was extraordinarily rare. With that said, have a close look at what they were able to witness.
I'm excited. I just saw something. I've never seen anything like it in my entire life.
Some might call this the most compelling paranormal evidence ever captured on film.
This is Sam and Mike with Viper Paranormal. We're here on the Crucy property. It's January 29th, about 10:45 p.m. My name is Mike. This is my friend Sam. We don't mean any disrespect. We're only here to learn and communicate. This may be your last opportunity to communicate with anyone.
Right when you asked that last question, the camera just died.
Really? Was it charged?
Yeah, it was fully charged. I mean, I K2, check the K2. Something over there?
I haven't seen anything, bro.
Dude, something moved over there, I swear.
Whoa! Where's it at?
Unlike most ghost sightings where people are only able to see a few objects moving, these guys were able to capture a spirit in the flesh. The transparent figure glided across the camera to the left of the screen, and they were both quick to give chase. From this point forwards, nothing else happened, which made the situation very questionable, but what they saw was more than enough for the day. It isn't often that sightings this prominent are found. On February the 23rd of 2025, a security camera caught something gobsmacking. The sighting was similar to that of the last video, except nobody saw it in the flesh, so the spirit must have thought it went under the radar. It happened at 11 o'clock at night, and nobody in the household was awake. This would not last, though, because the father and mother of the house were woken up by their dog barking, and curious at what was happening, they checked their cameras to see this. Strangely, a transparent figure could be seen outside of the house, and somehow the dog was able to detect it. This is because animals can supposedly see light patterns that we cannot, but I believed that this was a rumor rather than a matter of fact. Being put on the night shift can be one of the most devastating things a human can be given, especially if they don't work at those hours, usually. One day, Riley, the man in our following video, was told to take this role and work from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m., and he initially rejected the offer. However, when his boss put the opportunity of double pay on the table, he had to take the offer. Little did anybody know that working would not be the primary strain on Riley's evening, though, and there would be something far worse tormenting him that night. Have a look at what happened.
I'm freaking the crap out. So I was just doing night out at work back here, and then I walked to the back to grab a stapler, and I hear keys fall. And oh my gosh, I'm so freaking scared right now. I walk out here, and this is the breakfast report right here, and I put the keys with it, and when I walked away, the keys freaking fell by themselves. I don't know if I set them like on the edge or what, but they fell, and I'm freaking the crap out, people. Oh my gosh. The paper moves. It's moving again. Oh my gosh.
All sorts of things happened in this clip, from keys falling to the ground all the way to paper moving without any human interaction. This was frightening for obvious reasons, and Riley was super fortunate to have got it on camera so he could show his boss. To his dismay though, no further action was taken, but at least he wasn't made to suffer a night shift again. The man had always suspected his house was haunted, but things really started to escalate when he heard tapping sounds coming from the cabinet beside him. He walked over and noticed that an ornament with small dangling parts was lightly tapping against a cabinet door, seemingly on its own. Curious, he opened the cabinet to get a better look and decided to film in case something else happened.
Poltergeist. So I'm sitting here gaming, and that object up there swung and literally smacked the glass really hard. Damn reflection, but look, still moving. Let's catch it before it stops. Look, still moving. Oh no, it moved. Look, it was sitting there, as you can see from the dust. Oh, so it moved. Alright. Can you make it swing again? Damn, I really need to wipe off in there. Look at all that shit. Can you make it swing again? Try to open that more. Hello? Can you make it move again? Oh, look. It made them all move now. Nice. Can you make it swing like you did before when it hit the glass? It's going out of focus. Alright, now I said swing it, not move it. Jeez Louise. Jeez Louise. And I opened that thing, so probably let the damn thing out. Yo, this thing keeps moving. I'm like nervous and shaking. And I'm lightheaded a little bit. Keeps going out of focus. Surprised them things ain't shaking more, how much it moved. I'm so nervous, man. So lightheaded. I'm gonna regret this, but can you make it move again? Can you make it move again? So lightheaded. Can you slide it the other way? Keeps going out of focus. Yo! Was that a nickel, a dime, a penny? Look, there's my change. That thing went flying. How did it not hit the glass? See, that's some glitch in the Matrix shit. Yo, I gotta rewatch that, cause how'd it get past that glass and fly behind this stuff? fuck is that? That's definitely not what flew out. I don't even know where that went. Or even...
As the camera rolls, the ornament moves again. This time not just swaying but visibly sliding to the right in a smooth, deliberate motion. Then, out of nowhere, a penny shoots out from inside the cabinet, curving around the edge of the closed door and landing on the floor. It defied any explanation. After seeing the footage back, he was stunned. There was no airflow, no vibration, and no explanation for how the coin had moved like that. He has now started documenting everything and is seriously considering bringing in someone with experience in the paranormal. Something is clearly trying to make itself known, and it is no longer subtle about it. The family had long suspected something wasn't right in their home. After months of strange occurrences, noises, shifting objects, and an uneasy feeling that never fully went away, they finally installed cameras in key areas to see if they could catch anything. One of the cameras in the living room captured something they weren't ready for. It begins with a toy suddenly activating by itself, mechanical sounds cutting through the quiet. Then, more toys start to move slowly, shifting unnaturally without anyone nearby. As if that weren't enough, a white chair suddenly slides across the floor, completely unprovoked. The room was empty, and the footage was clear. This wasn't wind, vibrations, or a trick of light. The family watched the video several times, each time more unsettled than the last. They've kept the footage, started logging every incident, and are now considering professional help. With the cameras still rolling and the activity escalating, one question remains. What is it that's trying to make itself known in their home? Make sure to subscribe because that question will be answered in a future video. On July 29, 2007, a group of boys decided to explore an old abandoned church on the outskirts of town. The place had been left to decay for years, and while the setting was eerie, nothing unusual happened for a while. They wandered through the dusty aisles, laughing and filming parts of their adventure like it was just another fun challenge.
What's that damn door? I'm scared shitless. Oh shit, look at this ladder. It's like a secret door or something. When we try to get up it?
I'm not doing it.
Should I?
I'm not. You can go.
Fuck, I am. Don't.
Someone's gonna fall out of there.
Man, shut up. God damn it. We're around. I can't take this right
Oh
now.
god.
I'm so scared.
Shit.
Oh no. Oh my god. Turn the light. Listen. Oh shit, that's fucking piano. Is that piano? Come on. Should we go out there? Is that door open? Is that door open?
Shit, we left the door open.
Should we stay in here for a second? No. We gotta stay. We gotta stay back and see this.
Alright,
This could be priceless.
Some open.
Holy shit! Holy shit, what are we doing?
Oh my god! Oh my god!
I don't know what to fucking do, please.
God, help me. I gotta make it out alive. I wanna see my mama. Alright. We gotta try to make it to the front door.
Alright, just run.
Go. The door's locked. What do we do? Dude? We gotta make it run. Oh my God. Alright, go.
Oh my God! Holy shit!
Holy fuck, the music stopped playing. The music, go. Shit! I'm scared shit. He's following. Oh God. I can't breathe.
That changed instantly when they heard a soft melody echo through the church. The piano, untouched and worn from time, was playing by itself. As they turned to look, an apparition appeared at the bench, its hands gliding over the keys. Panic set in. The boys bolted out of the building, barely able to process what they had seen. They called a taxi and waited in silence at the edge of the road, too shaken to speak. That night marked the end of their ghost hunting curiosity. None of them ever went exploring like that again. After what happened the last time Kyle Anthony appeared on this channel, he had tried to move on. That night he heard what sounded like a little girl laughing from the basement while home alone had never left his mind, but without solid proof, he let it go. This time, though, his fiancée was home. When he heard the sound again, soft, eerie, and definitely childlike, he grabbed his phone and started recording.
Why do y'all want me to go down in the basement so bad? I'm already scared as hell. My fiance's home now, so it's a little bit better, but I don't want to go down there. Gosh dang. I haven't heard it again anyway. It was probably just the air conditioner making a freaking noise or something, you know what I mean? Whoa, okay, no. Okay, y'all think that's Elmo now? That wasn't no toy. That wasn't no toy, y'all. Oh my gosh. Oh, that was ridiculous. Yeah, let's just not,
The video captures a quiet, unsettling noise rising from the basement. It isn't laughter this time, but something just as unnerving. It carried the same childish tone, like someone trying to speak, but not making sense. Kyle is spooked during this clip, and for a moment nothing else happens. But right at the very end, the basement door slightly moves. Just a subtle shift, enough to catch your eye and make your stomach drop. Afterward, Kyle showed his fiancée the footage, and both of them were left uneasy. They know there's no one else in the house, and no reason for the sound or the movement. Now that they've both heard it, they're starting to realize whatever is down there isn't going away on its own. Kyle has begun tracking each occurrence, and the couple is thinking seriously about bringing in outside help. This no longer feels like a coincidence. Something is down there, and it is making itself known. Elle had already been asleep for a while when a series of soft knocking sounds woke them up. Confused and uneasy, they grabbed their phone and started filming as they got out of bed to investigate.
Mami, te grabo este video porque están tocando constantemente la puerta. Están pasando cosas que no son normales. ¿Quién? ¿Quién? No hay nadie. ¿Viste eso?
video shows Elle walking down the hallway toward the door where the knocking came from. They open it slowly, only to reveal absolutely nothing on the other side. No people, no wind, nothing that could have made the sound. After checking briefly, Elle returns to their room, and that's when the real shock hits. As the camera turns toward the bed, the covers are visibly shifting and tugging as if someone or something is underneath them, but there's no one there. Elle pans around the room in a panic, but it's completely empty. After the experience, Elle stayed awake the rest of the night with the lights on. The next morning, they told friends about it, and a few believe something is definitely trying to get their attention. Whether it's a warning or a presence just making itself known, Elle knows one thing for sure. That night changed everything. The following video was captured by a mother of 3, and her children's ages varied heavily. Her youngest was just 3 years old, but the eldest was a 16-year-old boy who was always out with his friends. One day, shortly after asking to go out, his mother allowed him to, despite it being a late hour, which would usually be off limits. Fortunately, he had a good time and was back home the next day, but little did he know what was going on back at his house whilst he was out.
Не поняла, опять этот звук. Снова. Именно когда сын уходит. Именно когда сын уходит, появляется этот звук из шкафа. Ребята, вы это слышите? Вы слышите, да, это, ребята? Почему так происходит именно когда сын уходит на улицу? Боже мой.
Strangely, his voice could be heard, and it was almost as if it was within the walls of the house. No matter how many cabinets are storage items, the mother checked, she could not find her son, and this is when she realized it was a mimic. Over the next week, she plotted how to get rid of this ghost, but then realized since her real son came home, it stopped anyway, so there was no point. I send my wishes that it will not start again. NQ is a notorious ghost hunter on YouTube, but in recent times, a lot of his content has been ridiculed for being fake, and obviously set up by his team. Most viewers hopped on the trend and called him a liar, without even checking for themselves. But one subscriber had a different idea. He decided to visit the location that the staged allegations sparked from. When NQ was here, all sorts of things moved without any human interaction, but many viewers spot strings attached to them. This video sought out to prove NQ right. Have a watch. First of all, a mysterious noise was heard, and this forced the man investigating to up his guard. He looked around the CityLink basement for any signs of something that could potentially move, and was drawn to the box, and to his surprise, it started to move, proving NQ's video of the place to be a valid one. The subscriber got out of there as quickly as he possibly could, and then uploaded the clip to YouTube, in hopes that it'd get traction. He managed to show 6,000 views that NQ was not a faker. Kelsey and Jamie were sleeping on a regular Saturday night when they were awoken by something very unexpected. Some odd sounds were occurring downstairs, and it almost sounded as if somebody else was in the house, so one of them needed to go and investigate. Jamie was fast asleep and really sick, so Kelsey did not want to force him down the stairs. She bravely volunteered to investigate and brought her mobile device with her. This is what she was able to record on camera.
Okay guys, it's after 2 in the morning and I just got up. Jamie's still... What in the hell? Jamie's still asleep. Oh my god, oh my god. These cupboards, I'm so afraid of them opening. I'm just gonna shut the water off here. Oh my god. I just shut that off and that is rolling. Look at this thing. It's rocking back and forth. Oh my god. Leave me alone. Jamie?
It was more than clear that nobody had invaded the house, and the only thing that had really made its way in was a poltergeist. This house had never experienced paranormal activity before, and furthermore, Kelsey and Jamie had never witnessed anything like it. This was a first-time experience, and that explains why she was so shook by what she came across. She told Jamie, and they both decided to do nothing about it due to their complete lack of knowledge. They hid under the coverts for the rest of the night and struggled to sleep for a brief period in the future. The following video was captured by the same YouTube channel that the first clip of this video involved, NQ. NQ was notorious for posting haunting findings to his YouTube channel, and they were always in the most obscure places that you would not be able to predict would have been a place brewing spirits. However, this video differed from the rest. Somehow, one of the poltergeists he encountered in another location must have traced him back to his home and decided to permanently haunt NQ. This is what it did, but before I show you, did you know that you can have your ghostly findings broadcasted on my channel too? That's right. All you have to do is email hauntertvofficial@gmail.com and attach your clips alongside a description of what happened and why it happened. If you do those 3 steps correctly, your clip will be in an upcoming video for certain. Anyways, here is the clip that NQ captured within his own home.
So you can go in here? See, there's no strings or anything. Nothing back there. Nothing from the top all the way down the sides.
Strangely, the television started to shake aggressively, and learning from his past mistakes that led to him being called a liar, NQ got as close as he could and made sure to show everybody that there were no strings attached. Now, NQ was an expert when it came to things like this, so unlike others who would contact a ghost hunter in this situation, he just banished the spirit on his own and succeeded. Being home alone can only go one of two ways, and these ways contrast massively. It either becomes one of the most chill times of your life, or one of the most unnerving and terrifying moments occurs, and it was the latter for the man who recorded the series of videos that I am going to expose your poor eyes to shortly. His name was Pete, and one night when he was all by himself, some odd stuff started to happen, which led to him taking out his camera. It was a good thing that he did, because what he captured was extraordinary.
So I'm hearing the shit again, and I'm alone. Jesus Christ. And I'm alone too. Jesus fucking. Oh my God. Oh my God. There was something behind that. There was something behind that. Nope. Nope. Nope.
No matter where Pete went in this household, the spirit followed, and he captured everything that a victim possibly could. What this series of events was called is a paranormal surge, and it refers to when 5 or more ghostly events happen within a 5-minute time span of each other. People are heavily advised to leave their house if one of these things happens to them, and Pete was clearly on the smarter side for doing this. For the following few days, he refused to go back to his home and took residence in his mother's house, promising to purchase his own food and things that he planned on using whilst he was there. However, he was only given a 2-day stay and was forced back to his place that he believed to be ridiculed with evil spirits. Throughout the next week or so, he could have sworn he continuously saw a shadow figure gliding between doors and exploring the property, but without any proof, he was too frightened to raise this concern to social media. One day, though, he hit the jackpot.
Oh, please tell me I got that on video. Please tell me I got that on video. That's why I put my phone up there. Nobody's in here. Oh, that scared me. Nobody's in here. Nobody's behind the door. Nobody's underneath the bed. Nobody's under the bed. Nobody's in the closet. Nobody's going out the room. In the closet. This is where I keep my laundry baskets. Nobody's here. And then the lights are going on and off. This is great. Bathroom. No. Utility closet. Nothing. Living room, kitchen. Nothing. And the lights are still doing that. And the remote, I don't know. I lost the remote. That's the remote.
Somehow, Pete managed to get the phenomenon on video and made sure to venture the entire building to make sure that the audience knew there was no way this shadow was a real person. I cannot fathom how terrified Pete must have been in this situation. Coming face to face with a spirit, even if it is just a shadow, is not for the weak, and luckily, Pete did not come under the weak category. He debated asking his father to stay at his house for the weekend because he had split up with his mother, meaning there was no way for him to know he stayed at her house a week prior, but went against the idea. It was cruel, forcing himself upon his parents' care. He came to the decision to stay in the house and give it one more chance, but of course that chance failed within a day.
There's something knocking at the door. I'm here alone. Nope. My girlfriend's not supposed to be here yet. Go away. She's not supposed to be here yet. I didn't hear her car. Her keys are not here.
This was the weirdest incident of the three because the ghost somehow mimicked the voice of somebody that was actually scheduled to be at the house in due course. It continuously knocked in an attempt to be let into the room, and this is what created the most silly decision that Pete made during these clips. He let it inside. The rest of his night was horrible, and the room became extremely active. This is when he came to the right conclusion that the house needed to be sold, and it is currently on the market at a rather cheap price. Roughly 6 months before the upcoming video was recorded, Lucy had a very haunted house. Her bedroom door would knock uncontrollably, her objects would displace themselves overnight, and she would often hear voices echoing around her kitchen. All of these things combined made it obvious that the place had a ghost occupying it, and she hired a ghost hunter to resolve the issue. Soon enough, one came to the house, and after he left, everything was supposed to be fine, and it was. For the next 6 months, absolutely nothing out of the ordinary happened, and Lucy was finally able to have some peace and comfort inside of her own home. This did not last forever, though. Unfortunately, on the 6-month anniversary of getting rid of the spirit, this happened. Her door knocked aggressively, and this was exactly what the old spirit used to do to her when it got late. She started having flashbacks to all of the previous times she had to go through this, and had no idea what the next steps should be, considering the ghost hunter did not do much in the long term. Comment down below if you have any suggestions for her, and you might as well subscribe too. The Midwest ghost hunter goes on all sorts of crazy adventures, and the one that I am about to show you is one of his most daring yet. He decided to visit an abandoned and haunted asylum that was absolutely ridiculed with spirits, and over my last few videos, I have been showcasing the horrors that he has managed to capture on camera. From flying fruits to unexplained noises, this place has had it all so far, but at the same time hasn't even offered half of what it has in store. The Midwest ghost hunter was walking up the stairs when this clip began to see if it was worse up there, and this is what happened.
Hello? Is there anybody up here? This whole place is unbelievably creepy. I can only imagine what it's gonna be like walking through the actual asylum wing. Is there anyone up here? The hell was that? Whoa! Holy shit! Dude, that was a loud freaking bang. Is there somebody down there? Whoa! Whoa! That door just opened! I literally just saw that. Oh my god. Dude, I cannot believe that. Already a door freaking opened. Oh god, and now it's shut. When did that happen? Oh god, do I dare freaking look? Look at that. It's slightly moving. There is no one. There is nobody. So then, how the hell did this door open? And look at that. It naturally shuts on its own. So whatever opened this had to have some good amount of force.
The unexplained noises came back again, and for those of you who do not know, this YouTuber does all of his explorations alone, so nobody else should have been in the vicinity. He identified the noise to have come from downstairs, so asked if there was anybody down there, and this is where the real fright happened. The door somehow opened itself and triggered a state of panic for the man who did not expect something so scary to happen so early into the challenge. Regardless of his expectations, it happened though, and there is far more to come for him. Subscribe so you do not miss future videos where this ghost hunter will 100% be featured. Speaking about features you can feature in future Haunter videos by simply emailing me at hauntertvofficial@gmail.com and sending over the clips that you want to have a feature. Include the clips alongside a description of why and what happened so that I know the story and I will include you in an upcoming video for sure. Why would you want to miss out on such a fun opportunity?